Yes!
That was actually my first question.
Okay. From one place to another takes about an hour, so it's very good. You guys ever been to San Diego? Much better. You're much better at a show like this where more personal. San Diego's more of a corporate. Everything there. You won't possibly be able to see everything around there. If you want to stand in line and get like a collectible toy or something like that, you're going to spend all day doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot of stuff going on. The trip was good. I got all my tattoos. I got Corpus Christi. But my tat artist, James Clemens,
Texas!
lives here now. So he's a tattoo artist. Once he moved from Corpus Christi, I didn't get any tats because it was hard to drive. Although I thought this drive was a lot further than it was from Texas. So it wasn't that bad.
So thank you once again for being here today. That's awesome. Thank you for coming out and doing this for us. We really do appreciate it. I know y'all appreciate it, right?
Yeah!
So I was going to give somebody the first question, but I kind of wanted myself. Give us a little background on this video that just popped up, and let me know what's going on with this. Drop knowledge.
Well, the video with Lionsgate Games called me. I know Inway, who's produced the Power Ranger Legacy War games. I've been working with the guy before he even had one download. Now they got 36 million downloads. And so they called me and asked if I would do, a live battle at San Diego Comic-Con, like, a fight, exhibition fight for fun, kind of choreographed, and I'm just busy, man. A lot of stuff going on. So I told them I couldn't do that, and they said, well, we can maybe possibly film it. And I said, well, if you're gonna film a Green Ranger Ryu, or test. Hello. If we're gonna film Green Ranger versus Ryu, I want Bat the Sun to do it because that's the original Bat the Sun.
Yeah.
Green Ranger versus Ryu. So I told him we could do it, and then I told him I wouldn't do it without Bat the Sun, and they talked, and Lionsgate and all that stuff went back, and then they gave us a pretty good, decent budget for the short film that we're doing, and they just merged it. So this is not the last of what they have planned and what we have planned. But now even the brand with Hasbro will cross the lines, and you got Transformers and all the different brands that we can merge with if we wanted to. So we'll see what happens. This was the first. It happened within 2 or 3 weeks. Shot it. I got to go back and finish a few scenes on August 1st, but he made it happen really quick for the trailer. We wanted to show it in San Diego, and then they had an in-way party that night to celebrate the video games and those things. But it was all of it was basically just promote the movie. It was like a movie premiere. Everybody was excited about it, loved it, so yeah, it was definitely exciting.
How's Aaron and Sean?
Aaron and Sean's great. It's really good. The Bat the Sun panel at San Diego last night was about over 700, 800 people.
Really?
Bat the Sun's making a huge name for themselves. That's why when I told Inway and all the other stuff, there's not a bigger, better producer, product, owning a production company. It's not just a director. They own this brand.
Yeah.
That's got 360 to 380 million views throughout their social media channels and stuff like that. So that was pretty fun.
I've been following them for years when they did that Batman, and it's so amazing to me to see how far they've come because I've been a huge fan of theirs for so long, and then you got involved with them, and then they're just doing all these amazing things. So to hear that they're merging and they're doing that's fantastic to hear. So
well, they did the Ninjak too, as I played Bloodshot. So Aaron was a director on that and said, hey, we'd like to get Jason for Bloodshot. So we worked on that for about 2.5 years. Branded, put hashtags, everything, and created a lot of hype. Sony picked up the movie, so then Diesel's filming now for Bloodshot in South Africa. And which at first I thought I want to do the movie version, but I did the television version. I was the first Bloodshot. I was kind of happy that he didn't pick it up. He's a big actor. It's going to bring a lot of attention to the brand, and hopefully I can do something with them and Sony. But if I don't, it's just all in God's hands anyway.
You think you're gonna go show some Vin some moves? I mean, hey Vin, what's up, man?
Yeah,
Do some moves with you.
I think so. It'd be nice.
Let's make that happen.
I'm trying to be like really political.
You're doing good. You're good. You're good. So you want to jump into some Q&A?
Sure.
Or do you want to jump into what's going on right now? Anything else?
Yeah, let me tell you a little bit about what's going on, just so you can save you guys some questions. I got an update on my phone, which is terrible.
Shattered Grid.
Yeah.
Want to talk about that?
Yeah. Let me start with, I got a video game that is really cool. It's about to drop. It was supposed to drop yesterday, but I didn't want to do that to the video game people at Lionsgate. Didn't want to shadow their video game like shadow it. But I got a video game. It's my More for Life brand. It's a retro video game. You can download on Apple, Androids, your iPads, computers. It's got 5 different levels. It's super hard to beat. I failed the first time I tried it. I got beat up, even though it was me doing all the mocaps and doing all the kicks and stuff like that. So that's going to be available free for the world to download soon. Still doing My More for Life. Season 4 is on my channel, the JDFFFN. Did their Shattered Grid, which is Lord Dragon, which is a different universe where he's basically going after all the other Rangers to become some ultimate god. I did 2 other NDAs. There was 3, but now the Street Fighter's out with the Power Rangers, so now there's only 2 left. One of them was a cartoon on Cartoon Network, it's pretty popular. That I did some voices on that, and the other one I'll wait and see on that. I did a movie called Omniboat that's coming out next year. It was like Robert Redford, Rick Ross, Adam Devine, Uncle Luke, just a bunch of people. So that's coming out next year.
You went from Robert Redford to Rick Ross.
All of it. That's why it's so interesting. That is why it is an award-winning film. Little Kid from It. I don't know his name. He's got starts with an F, kind of longer name. He's in Stranger Things. He's in one of them. So there's a lot of people in that. Yeah.
Wolfhard.
That's it. He's in that film.
Really?
And just a lot of top directors. Phil Lord, who directed Star Wars, and then he got replaced, fired in Star Wars. This was one of his first films coming back into the filmmaking. So nice. A lot of hype on that. I think that's it for now. The short film will be out in fall for the Street Fighter. Power Rangers now be out in fall. Anything else?
You're not busy at all.
The things on NDA.
Lots on NDA right now?
Yes.
I understand. I get it.
We call it NDA, and it's just all black.
Yeah, NDA.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. So I wrote a movie called Moolah that's working on that to direct that film.
Moolah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Give us a little background on that, can you? Sort of?
Yeah.
A little teaser?
It's not about like when you look at me, you're like, oh yeah, he's talking about money. It is kind of about that, but it's I can't tease it yet.
All right, it's all good. We respect it. You want to get some Q&A going? Y'all want to get some Q&A going? That wasn't a question. I wanted to know, man. Let's do this. Who's got the first one? Who really wants it? Spidey's got it. What's up, my friend? What's your name?
Devin.
Where you from?
Louisiana, Shreveport.
Nice. Which question?
Which Power Ranger did you like to be the most?
Which Power Ranger did I like being most? I like being Tommy. That's the answer to sum it up. But I was the green and white, so Green Ranger costume was cool. But I like all of them, to be honest.
It's a good first question. Yeah, man. Good job. I like it. Going to you. I already told you. Give us your name again.
Hey man, what's going on, bro? This has a good question for you. Your brand, Jesus Did Tap. How has God and Jesus Christ affected you in your life and today, and how in the years to come and in the past as well?
Well, I always say, one of the things I think about religion, it's not a religious relationship, and there's people that love the relationship that shout from the rooftops. But for me, I like to just live by proof instead of saying, because we all sin, we all make bad choices. I don't care who you are. So I don't like to go to certain churches that everyone thinks they're good, because there's things that you can sin just by thinking. The 10 Commandments, like we live by, is just the commandments, but it's not really the grace of God. Because the 10 Commandments say this, that. So I try to live through it, going through the struggles, the ups and the downs. But ultimately, you look at 115 different Rangers and say, why is JDF, why is the Green Ranger the most popular? Is because I do feel truly blessed. But there's a lot of Ranger friends of mine like Nakia, Karen, Johnny Bosch, all these people that throughout the whole entire series is always talking about God and how good God is. So I don't mean that to be like, I'm the only one blessed. I'm saying I'm blessed for me and what I do by giving back. The more you give, the more you get. That's just the way it is. People are always worried about that, but the more you give, the more you get. You can't just save $1 and think that's going to multiply by 10 and think, well, I'm going to save this $1 because God says I'm going to give it 10 times. You're not going to get nothing. What you do is you save $1, you give $1, you don't think about it. And that's kind of how life is anyway. You give to people and you expect to get back, you'll be disappointed. Give to people and forget about it. And when they give it back, oh, so surprised. You're awesome. Try it with your friends and see who takes. And give. So I like to give. It's changed my outlook a lot on life. Because when you're down in the dumps and in the struggles, there's the only way is to look up. Even when you're getting beat up in an MMA fight, you're looking up and you see the guy pounding you in the face, but you gotta get up because that's what you're looking at. You know what I mean? So it's a constant struggle and battle.
Good question. Thank you. Your name?
Kendall, what's your favorite anime?
Oh, favorite, I know someone's gonna ask me that anime convention.
You knew it was coming, right?
Yeah. But you know, Johnny Bosch is a friend of mine who plays all the voices of like almost everything. I can't keep up with what he does. I don't know if Robotech's considered that kind of the anime. You guys are like, ooh, how dare you? I don't know. But you know, Power Rangers is based off Sentai, so I think that would be, would that fall in the anime category? Sentai Rangers, not really. I'd say so.
Yeah, why not? Let's go with it.
Dragon Ball Z, I'm
There you go.
hoping to do some work. I'm hoping to do some work on that. I just promised some work on that, so we'll see what happens on that. But,
Really?
But yeah, we'll see what happens.
I like that. All right, next question over here. Your name?
Gabriel Johnson.
Hey, man. Thanks for being here. What's your question?
I just want to ask, what's the best thing about when you was working in season 1 of Power, when you first came on board as the Green Ranger? What was one of the best things about it?
Just working to be an actor. I don't like to be like, oh, I'm a working actor to pay the bills, because that's not what I'm all about. Even these shows, you can get stuff at the table, you don't have to, it doesn't really matter to me. So I love to kind of work from true passion and a hobby versus like I need to pay my car payment thing because I'm financially fine. And when I started the show, I literally was like, I will pay you guys if I can do this job. Like, I will go broke just to pay you because I like entertaining, I see the cameras and all the cool costumes. I never went into it thinking, I want more money. That's why you see Green Ranger everywhere. It's not about superpower beatdowns. You think they paid me for that? No, I didn't even want that. Omniboat. I told them I'm going to fly myself and put myself up in that hotel. They said, well, we'll fly you. I said, can you fly me first class and give you 4 seasons? You can fly yourself. Thank you very much. So what I want to do. Everything I do is passion. So the best thing for me was the first day on set. Seeing all the props, seeing everything fake. Everything was fake. I leaned on the command center and I was like, oh, man, this is like fake. Everything was just so fake, it looks so real. That's all.
Got another question over here. Your name?
Jacob, I'm from Alexandria. What kind of inspired you to break a Guinness World Record for the most boards broken while skydiving?
Good question.
I started the reality show, My More for Life season 1, and I just thought it'd be fun. I love skydiving, I love karate, how we could, do them together. So I did one practice run, and then the next run was like, I had to break them all. So like Dennis was down there, the news was down there. I was like, oh man, this is a lot of pressure. I'm gonna have to do it now, type of thing. And I just did. It was fun. I love skydiving. I love wind tunnels. I love karate. I love base jumping. All those cool things that I love. So it was just fun. And Dennis picked it up, and they certified. They sent people there, and it was fun. It was a fun thing. So next time you want to break a board, jump out of the plane, break boards. But read the form, the waiver. You have to sign a waiver. You have to drop it. Not my fault.
Would you say you're extreme?
I don't know about that. I mean, I think that people would think it's an extreme sport, I guess. Maybe it is, but I don't really see that to be too extreme. You know what I mean? Fighting in a cage is a lot different than skydiving, although skydiving does get your heart pumping, I guess, but you don't feel the roller coaster. It's like, when you jump out of an airplane, it's not like, whoa, and you get your endorphins going, it's more like you're just flying. It's like being Superman. Base jumping, you get to the bottom of your stomach, but it's kind of like you're flying.
We got another question here. Your name?
Joshua,
Hi, Josh.
before you made an appearance on the first season of Power Rangers. What have you been doing since then?
All this. Been working a lot, traveling around. So since I made my first appearance on Power Rangers.
Yeah, what did you do before? What did you do before?
Oh, I owned karate schools. I was a business owner. I owned my first karate school just when I turned 18. Sold my whole comic book collection to get it. Sold the comic book collection anywhere from 11 to 14 grand. I don't remember at this point. I bought my franchise, and I was teaching martial arts. I was a business owner. Loved karate, teaching karate. I still love teaching it. I got schools now. Rising Sun Karate Schools. Have an online training course called trainmejdf.com. It's from a home base, just to practice at home. But one of the reasons I just want to let you know about the trainmejdf.com, sometimes people look, oh yeah, look at them doing all these classes around the world. It's more of a passion for me to introduce people to karate, because I had a student I used to teach on Skype. Long story short, he ended up taking his life. He was very depressed. He was very depressed in life. He ended up taking his life. His mom called me and said, man, all he looked forward to was the karate classes. And I said, I didn't think he did. I couldn't read him. He was just sitting there. She said, no, he ran in the garage like an hour before you taught class. And that's all he looked forward to. If I would have known that, I probably would have talked to him a little differently than teaching him karate. But that inspired him to live. You know what I mean? Inspired him to feel good about himself. And so the training classes are discipline, but maybe we can connect a little bit. You can look up to me even more outside of Power Rangers as a karate teacher to remind you of brotherhood, dedication, respect. It's not about you getting chiseled in your living room. It's not about him getting, chiseled. It's about him straightening up his mind. And that's kind of why I started that online training class. So you can watch and straighten up your mind and strengthen it. Train your brain. Because ultimately your brain is what's in control of your body. And I'm to be honest, we all go through the ups and downs. I do. I dealt with ADD. I go through the ups and I go through the downs of depression. I go through everything you guys say. When someone looks at me and says, you don't know what I'm talking about, JDF. You don't know what I'm talking about. I'm 45. Son, you've been pooping in diapers long before. I was 20 years old before you were pooping in diapers. I know what it feels like. Going through Hollywood is not easy. It's not easy. You got different avenues. You got this, you got drugs, you got staying on that right road in life is probably the hardest thing that we're going to challenge ourselves to do. But we got to have a goal. And we got to have a focus. You know what I mean? And that's something I just want to hear and tell you all. We'll continue Power Ranger stuff, but to sum it up, always say I can.
Yep.
That's what's going to get you through in life. I can.
Thank you for that. That's good. Thank you for sharing those. We got another question right here. He's been waving his hand. He's ready. What's your name, man?
Andrew.
Where are you from?
Louisiana.
Yeah. What's your question?
Do you like Dragon Sword or Tiger Sword?
Well, I mean, the Dragon Zord was the first. I think Dragon Zord would get mad if I said the Tiger Zord. So I'm probably have to say the Dragon Zord. But just don't tell the Tiger Zord.
Good question. Give it up for him, man. That's a good one. That's a good one. All right. You have the Goonie shirt on. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
Good job. What's your name?
My name is Nicholas, born and raised in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Nice.
Okay, it's all about a non-Power Ranger role. And what was your fantasy role for any kind of movie? And the big question is, will you be a great fit for the John Wick universe?
I actually enjoy the John Wick movies. I mean, I love watching them. To be honest, there's a lot of things you think I'm an action guy, so everyone thinks I just love like nonstop action. I did like the Wigs, even though he shot I don't know, I would like to count how many people he shot.
Let's not count.
I would. I wanted to go back and watch people, but I was so interested because there was someone that actually counted how many moves we threw a punch in a Power Ranger movie. And it was an interview, and it was a girl interview, and she said, "Why did the boys punch more than the girls?" And I remember that interview. Are you guys chauvinist? And I was like, "What's that, man?" Like, I'm just fighting. I'm just a Power Ranger. Like, I was young at the time, so I'd like to count that up. But I enjoyed playing Bloodshot. I really did. It was from a comic book. I actually liked being a comic book character. Power Rangers was not a comic book character. Lord Draken is a comic book character. That's why I enjoy playing him, is because he's a comic book character. I know Power Rangers is a comic book character and the Green Ranger, but different things that we're creating is interesting for me. So I like playing Bloodshot. I just like acting, but I'm very selective on what I pick. I've been offered this and that. I'm just selective. I got an audience here. Chuck's a friend of mine, and I was talking to Chuck Norris, and Chuck Norris said, you know, my career didn't start until I was 50. And I'm 25, and that sounds so old, man. I'm like, oh, but, you know. And then he said he really watches the roles he does on Texas Ranger. He didn't do like any like the crazy kissing stuff. He always kept it clean because he's got people looking up to him, not just as a karate instructor. Well, all you guys are older, but it wouldn't sound right of me saying like cuss words. It just doesn't sound right for Jason or Tommy to say things like that.
Yeah.
There are people that do roles that you look and you're like, oh God, so you know. So I have a you know, I'm a role model for certain people and kids around the world. So I want to keep it clean. My Instagram's clean. Nothing wrong with drinking. I don't drink. I haven't in 6 years. I used to here and there. There's just things I'm cleaning up my act. I guess the transformation of God. That's how people know you're different. Is when they're like, what's wrong with you, man? What's wrong with you? You used to drink and party all the time. I don't no more. God got him. He's one of those guys. Yeah, thank you very much.
We got another question here. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Christina Lee Johnson. I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana, but I'm originally from Pasadena, California.
Right on.
My question is, I noticed you from the first Power Ranger movie and Power Ranger Turbo. So, which movie do you like to be in the most?
Did you ever go to Power Morphicon since you live in Pasadena?
Honestly, no.
No?
No.
Right there, it's a big show. Power Morphicon's coming in August. But I enjoyed doing the Mighty Morphin. The first movie was fun. Turbo was different. We had a really big budget on the first movie. It was a studio. Some people didn't understand the brand, so we changed a lot of things. So I think this first movie was more challenging to get done right. The second movie, we already gone through all the challenges, so it was easier to film. So I'd probably say the first one. Plus, Live News was cool, and, you know, all that good stuff. I was so worried when Live News said take the goo and throw it in their parents' faces. I was like, oh my God, and they just say that. I was waiting for little kids to throw them.
Your name?
Thomas.
What's up?
All right. Basically, I have 3 questions. One of them is, which place from TV show would you actually like to see in real life? The community center, the command center, or Rita's castle?
Which one I would like to see the most? Or?
If it was in real life, which one would you like to have in real life if it existed?
You say command center?
Yeah.
Probably command center. Even though it's like a big Apple Watch, it's fine. It's like DOS. Like the command center and DOS. The old stuff. I have to pick up the phone and call someone. I have to say 911. 911. Okay, call 911, sir. 911. Anyway.
All right, want to do the next one?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, and this is about the recent live action one that just came out. You've done like 2 scenes in. I know that right now the second movie still may or may not happen. But how would they want? I mean, how would you want the Agreement Ranger to be played?
I haven't really even thought of a reboot. You know, because I'm still doing my thing. Soul of the Dragon's coming out in December, which is a solo Green Ranger project that I've been aiming to get. So that book's coming out. We're hoping to follow along with the digital. So as far as the movie end of it, it's a whole different universe for me. You know what I mean? It's a different universe. So however they play it would be great. I don't really think, for me, it would be like the end of Tommy to say, I want someone I'm not ready to pass towards yet in this world, maybe in the movie world. There's a lot to accomplish in television right now with my fan base. As long as it's good. I know Hasbro's planning on doing a movie. I know they said that through the internet. Don't quote me, but it did say that Hasbro's planning to do great stuff for you, and I really believe the brand. I was there promoting San Diego Comic-Con. I believe they have good things in store for everyone.
Nice. That's good enough. Third one, want to do it?
Yeah. All right. Well, actually, feel free to answer. But where were you when you heard about the entire act? Where were you when you heard about what happened to the original Yellow Ranger?
I was at home, I think. It was a tragic accident. I'm not too sure the details of it, but yeah, it wasn't a good thing. You know? So she's deeply missed, and
Thank you for the questions. All right, we have the next one right here. Your name?
Timmy.
Timmy, where you from?
Monkey.
Right, man. What's your question?
So, gee, I have a question for you. I like Power Rangers the movie. I love you because I love Green Ranger because I was Lightning Jetty. I was Turbo. I love Zeo. I love Dino Thunder. Could you do that phrase again? Like,
Oh, that's my laugh.
You want to know the drinking line? That's what you're asking for?
well, I love,
I don't remember,
I
guys,
saw
I
you in,
millions of lines. I don't remember all the lines. The only thing I know from Dino Thunder is I may be old, but I can still pull it off. Gods. And then the Green Ranger.
yeah, I love that, bro.
Yeah.
I love that, Brian.
Yep. And then Kimberly would just say, Tommy, help all the time. Why do I remember one?
You said Dragon Zord?
Dragon Zord! I know that one.
Or the movie.
Or the movie? Or the White Tiger?
Well, you guys have been 20 years. Y'all have been 20 years. I went on DVD.
Good thing you said 20 years, because I thought you said corn.
2, and 3.
Dragon Zord! Tiger Zord!
Tiger!
White Tiger! There you go, that's my line. Thank you, sir. I may be old, but I can still pull them off.
It's not fun, man. It's called Harry. Coming out. What's your name? I'm from Michigan.
You know when you get old and you start trying to listen to someone like this? That's where my mind's at. I'm trying to listen. Speak up, sir. Traveling too much.
It's all good.
Especially one other thing, and then I'll let you go. I was reading the newspaper the other day on the airplane, and I had to zoom in, and I was trying to zoom in with my finger. I was looking at the other side, and I just played it off like I was measuring the stakes.
We've all been there. It's okay.
My question is, besides your own Mighty Morphin, what was your favorite theme song from all the Power Rangers you've seen?
Well, I love when they have the Go Green Ranger song. I love it because like Go Green Ranger, it's like my own song. I love that. Like playing the Power Ranger song, I was like, here's my song. Oh, he's got a song, and then it was like, oh, yeah. Tiger Powers, another one, baby, too. So those are fun. And then the Go Go Power Rangers is, it's a classic. It's a classic.
They had did the original Mighty Morphin song, and then they just changed up the words.
Yeah.
All right. I was going to let you talk on the mic. Talk. Hi, what's your name?
Stacy, and I'm from Stonewall. My question is, when y'all did the teaser for the Shattered Grid, do y'all think y'all might do like an extension of that and turn it into like a mini series or something?
You know what's funny is you always have to prove to studios and prove to people what you can do. And Shattered Grid was something that me and Kyle wanted to do for the fans, and then it blew up 15 million, 20 million around all platforms. So yeah, studios definitely look at that and they see, and there's a fan base for it. For it to blow up that fast in a short period of time, I think the Dragon is piquing curiosity from people because they don't read the books, so they don't know what's going on. But more people see the Shattered Grid, then more people read the books. So it's great. It's going to steer them to the books and Shattered Grid. Yeah, we hope so. And of course, the Green Ranger series is something I always wanted to do as well. So there's a lot of different options, which is a good thing that you have options. Options are good. Sometimes they're confusing because I hate looking at all the food when you go to a buffet like I can't decide. It's too hard. Less options.
So I'll tell you what, guys, if you got a question, why don't you come line up right here? Because I've been seeing all kinds of hand-to-hand.
That's not true. He just don't want to watch you. That's why he's like, I tell you what, I see a lot of hands. Why don't y'all stand here? So I don't need to walk.
Nobody's
gonna hold the mic to your face.
Well, all right. So your name? Where are you from? Louisiana.
I think it's funny. I'm supposed to go with mic to people. That's why I think it's why. Now he's all because you're insecure about holding the mic.
Okay, so we all know that your character Tommy Keys appeared in all 3 eras of Power Rangers, 2 Salon eras in the Disney era, and now we're entering another one. So my question is there a chance that we'll see Tommy in future seasons of Power Rangers?
Well, we'll have to wait and see on that one. But I will tell you that the first thing that we're doing with the Street Fighter and the Power Rangers is cool because it's Saban and Hasbro approved. So I was able to work with 3 different umbrellas. Saban, kind of 4, Saban, Disney, Saban, and then Hasbro. So the different ownerships of it, which is pretty cool. But I hope anything that's gonna have anything that's gonna be Power Ranger related, as long as I can still fit in spandex, I'm gonna be there. Hey, spandex stretch too, I'll be like, too bad, I fitted it. No, you don't. Shut up. You look what? You look what? You look good, is what I thought.
Not too old.
What's up, buddy?
Thanks for showing up, so I have to walk to you.
Yeah, you're gonna say, get on a chair, son, so everyone can see you.
No, you're good. What's your name?
Corbin,
Where you from, Corbin? How about what's your question?
what happened after, what happened between Turbo and Dino Thunder?
Good question.
Oh, good thing you didn't say what happened to your face, because I was thinking about what happened to you. You're so old. So I took a break. Tommy took a break. I was a doctor. Tommy took a break, or was it doctor? No, Turbo. I took a break in between Turbo, and then I was trying to become a doctor.
Oh boy.
However that worked, y'all can piece that one together. Your imagination.
Your name?
Aaron, my question is, out of all the suits that you've been in, from green to black to this combination of the first two, the combination of the white and the green, which one would you say was your absolute favorite out of all of them?
Well, if you close your eyes, spandex all feels the same. It does. It's cold, stretchy. When I opened my eyes, I like the Green Ranger one. And then the fit of the shield was great for the White Ranger. And then with the Zeo, with no shield, that was disappointing. It felt kind of like weird, when you get a haircut or you feel like you don't have a shirt on, you're kind of like, Zeo was kind of like, I don't have a shield, you know what I'm saying, right? Then Dino Thunder, I was like, yeah, kind of, but I kind of had a shield, but they were, just on the edges.
You had a good helmet in Dino Thunder, though.
I had a great
You
helmet.
had a great helmet. I like that.
Cool. And I was a doctor. Kids around the world would be like, Dr. Oliver? And parents were like, who's this guy? Stranger danger. But you're a doctor. You're a doctor? And I'm like, I am.
I definitely like the arc that your character took with being a doctor and doing the dinosaurs and paleontology and all that. That was really cool. That was really good.
Dude, when they gave me glasses in the beginning, I like glasses now. My friend Marquette has a pair of glasses that don't work, but they look cool. So I told him he's a Raiders punter. I said, hey, dude, where'd you use your glasses? Because I want them now. But when I was a Dino Thunder, I was like, oh, give me glasses. What does that mean? And then they were like, you look smart. And I was like, fine. So I wore them, and it did make me look smart. And then I took them off, and I was like,
You almost had that Clark Kent thing going on, like he takes the glasses off and he goes to work, so
that's true.
You can look at it that way, though, too.
Very true.
Your name?
Matt.
Good report.
Hey, what's up?
His name, too. It's nice to meet you, Mr. Frank. This question is actually for my students that I'll have this year. I'm an English teacher.
Great, I'm bad grammar,
sorry. As a kid, I grew up watching Power Rangers. My friends and I viewed all y'all as role models. What advice would you have to the kids today that are in school?
Nice. Dude, the advice I would give everyone, because I tend to talk a lot, and I'm telling you, the advice that I've always known is the I can, I will, not I can't, I won't. It's funny because they wrote the book, Thomas the Train, right? It was like, I think I can, I think I can. Just what happens if you turn the first page and said I can? It's just it. Nobody will sell books. It'll be over. But the I can thinking is very important. And that goes to anywhere and everywhere. Doesn't mean, right? It's like with these guys, the police officers, I want them to say, I can't, in case I get pulled over. I want them to be like, I can't give this guy a ticket. I can't, because if they said I can, I would get a ticket. So you guys, when you pulled over, just say, I can't. Which is a funny story. I did get pulled over, had 2 officers, and they're great. I love it. We'll give a big hand.
Yeah, give a big hand to these guys.
But they also in Phoenix, when that guy came to try to eliminate me, the officers were there and saved me, great. But I had 2 officers that pulled me over, I guess, quick, and they loved it. Like, dude, big fan. So they're asking me questions left and right. One of the partners, I don't think, was a fan. because he went back, ran it, came back, and I was thinking, oh man, I'm not getting a ticket because this guy, 30 minutes of answering questions. Yeah, the Dragons are this. This partner's like, here you go, bud. Here's a ticket. And he's like, yeah, I'm sorry, man. My brother really don't like the show. I was like, great. He's probably like on his phone from Pokemon Go.
Your name?
Jason.
What's up, buddy?
How you doing? My question is, how does it feel knowing you inspired an entire generation of people to learn martial arts and karate and to just pursue their better selves and to believe that they can do anything that they can do? How does that feel, more or less?
I think it's great. I have a lot of, it's true, I have a lot of like professional people, like police officers and football people and UFC fighters to regular people that inspire them around the world, which is a pretty cool thing for me to, I guess, try to continue to stay to be a role model. And this stuff of the social media, the accountability partners that we have on each other, has really shaped me to the person that I am. I told you I didn't have an issue with people doing their own thing and drinking. I just don't drink because I don't want to feel like the next morning. But also, I'm a superhero. You don't want to see your hero in the bar like, hey, let me tell you about bars.
Like Superman 3.
Ranger. Anyway, I don't drink. I try to, you guys keep me accountable, keep me in shape, and to say, hey, when are you gonna do Power Rangers again? So there's other roles that it's really tried to shape me, I guess, to be a hero. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. If we can mold ourselves to become better people, like anybody. Just because you're an athlete or celebrity doesn't mean you're better than anyone else. You know what I mean? We all put our pants on one leg at a time. Except for me, I'm more. But other than that, but it feels great.
Thank you, Jason. What's your name, sir?
Jason,
Where you from?
Louisiana.
Right on. Question.
How old were you when you started karate?
I was 4. I was 4 years old when I started. I'm B45. I just got promoted to be black belt. Thank you. One clap. Don't clap now. You wouldn't have to be it. Look at the one clap. It was like this. It was a golf clap. It was like, yeah, next. What if you were like this? And I just disappeared. What if I was Dino Thunder Black and I went to hit you and I missed you and I took my helmet off? Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. I'm going to put it back on.
We were listening and singing.
Weird things like that.
Your name, sir?
Chris, I'm from Gilbert, Texas. I got to ask this question Austin St. John last month, and he recommended asking you about it. We often hear about actors accidentally taking props and such home from the...
Please, right in front of the police officers? Are you trying to get me on the ground? Oh. Tommy, no, wait. Some props have fell. Listen, let me show you how some props accidentally fell on my back. Oops. I think that was a dragon dagger. Technically it wasn't a 5-figure discount. I pushed it with 1.
My question is, what if you did, what items did you
Allegedly.
I
just told you the dragon dagger.
And you allegedly still have it?
No, I do have the green. I do have the full black Dino Ranger suit. I have the whole thing. I have the green Ranger spandex. I got the dragon dagger.
For black tie fighters.
All right, fine. I put my regular clothes up with the black Dino Thunder suit one day. I was like, sir, take you to the dressing room? I said, yes, sir. And I got out and then went squeak, and they looked at me, and I was like, it was my suit. And they didn't see my suit under my clothes. But technically, it wasn't a 5-figure discount.
Your name?
Candace, I'm from Shreveport, but originally from Mississippi. For the record, in your position, I totally would have done that too.
No, let me be honest, there was a lot of times they do stuff out. I'm not just saying that because you guys, but there's a lot of times they would take pictures of Polaroid and throw it out. They would do stuff, I would trash in the trash, dig through the trash to get stuff. And those original Polaroid pictures, you know, like, they would, like a Polaroid, like a really good one though, they would take a look at the lighting and then throw them out. And then a lot of other props, so I would collect them because I knew one day they would be not worth something as money. People don't appreciate anything until it's a 20-year-old classic. You could have a car, no one cares, 15, 16, 17, get rid of it, waits 20 years. It's a classic. I just got a 1963 Lincoln Suicide Doors. It's black lower. When you guys see me, please let me know. And, I'm real but like, it's Tommy's going away for a long time after this, people. It's a class. It's a class. So yeah, okay, go ahead, continue.
It's really, it's okay. My question is, outside of the Rangers you played, outside of Tommy, who was your favorite Power Ranger?
Well, the seasons, I really enjoyed the first MMPR season. I thought it was cool because you had all different characters. You had Jason, who was kind of like the high school kid. You had Billy, who was smart, and Walter did the hip hop keto, and Trini. And then you had Amy, Kimberly, the pink, and then there was Tommy, kind of the new kid in school that really didn't get along with people. You know, we all. I was like that too. I used to get made fun of my Wolverine T-shirt. Then that all stopped because I was in karate. For real. But I liked the first season, and then I enjoyed going back to Dino Thunder. I really enjoyed it. I liked the White Ranger Dino suit, was pretty cool. All the suits are really cool. I don't know, some seasons I'm learning a lot more than I knew when I first started this, and I've been in this business doing Comic-Con 6 years. My first Comic-Con was an anime. I was telling the Polars, it was an anime show in Florida. And I've done quite a few anime shows, so I'm not brushing up that much on the anime stuff. There's so many superhero characters that I don't know either, you know, so.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you for the question.
I probably didn't answer.
You did. You got it. You got that. What's your name, sir?
My name is Jody from Ringo, Louisiana. I actually have a statement and a question. All right. The statement: thank you for making my childhood the way it was. It was amazing. Now my question, I started going back and watching Dino Thunder all over again because he's one I really remember the most.
We did that on the Street Fighter 2 Dino Thunder, by the way. He's a big part of the Street Fighter Power Rangers universe that were just released in the short film.
The question I had was that part before you became the Black Ranger, when you had to meet all your different, I guess,
fighting spirits. Yeah, fighting spirits.
Yeah, those. Yeah. How long did that scene take for you to film?
You know, we had stunt doubles that were all different sizes, first of all. I was like, can you get like the same stunt guy, the same size? Because like we have like this one, and we're all supposed to be the same. So, but it all worked out. It was fun to do things like that. I remember I was so excited to do like the evil Tommy and the great Tommy and all that stuff. And I'm sure anyone would be excited to like play you or a different person. But the only problem is you're playing two people, and it's like it takes a lot. It's a lot longer than anything else. So when you go get your paycheck, you're not like, hey, pay me two. They're like, you're one. You're only one. I play triplets, doubles, doesn't matter, you're only one. Which it wasn't for that, but I just thought it was funny. Some people are like, okay, let me play that part. I'm gonna get two paychecks. I'm like, dude, you get one. It's you. You just played a double part. So it took a little long, but it was fun. I enjoyed that one, but Turbo was not in it. The only
where was Turbo?
Oh, he was on a break. See, no, for real, the brand did not want to put Turbo in there because I shared the powers with TJ. But the Soul of the Dragon book, Tommy's in there. I mean, Tommy. Turbo's in there, which is great because that was, you know, that's why I think Turbo hasn't got a lot of love because it's split. I don't know, you guys are probably too young for this, but I Dream of Genies.
The two Darrens.
Yeah, dude, that was terrible.
Darren Stevens and Darren.
I did not like the two Darrens.
What is it, York?
I didn't. But it's so hard for me to watch that because I would eat and I'd look up and be like, who's this guy? And then you're supposed to think that's really him. It was confusing.
I'll feel you on that. All right, we're going to do speed round. Ready?
Speed round.
Speed round. So quick questions. Let's get it going because I want everybody to get their answers done. So, all right, here we go. Ready? Your name?
Branson of Shreveport, Louisiana. Being a part of a franchise that is so long, and you've got fans who are older now, how do you keep your stuff relevant to where adults still enjoy it, but it still pays respect to the fact that it's a kid's show?
I find balance. Balance. You said speed round. I can't talk more. It's like balance.
Here's some more.
Keep the balance.
Keep the balance. Your name?
Like I'm from Shooter, Louisiana.
Balance too.
When you play the Green Ranger, White Ranger, Red Sea Ranger.
No, you can't say that. You can't. We got a Superman shirt on. Are you coming good? Hey, Power Rangers is my favorite show of all time. Except they didn't have your shirt. This one was on sale. I like Superman too.
What's your favorite superhero?
There you go. Favorite superhero, go.
Wolverine.
Bloodshot second, maybe?
Well, but that's me. I didn't want to be like all like Bloodshot's my favorite. Let me pick 6 Rangers I think should make a great team in the whole Power Rangers universe. Green Ranger, White Ranger, CO5, Red Turbo, Black Dino Thunder, and then of course Lord Dragon. I mean that's just me. Those were all me, by the way. In case you're wondering. I didn't want to say me. Wolverine.
Your name?
Brandon from Shreveport. And I know you're real heavy in the mixed martial arts community. Would you ever come back and fight like CM Punk in the UFC?
No. You know why? He's terrible. He's terrible. I would have fought him in the first man. Yeah, we had a fall, and he's a little old. People would be mad at me too.
Name?
What if they did beat him? He said, I'm maybe old, but I can still pull it off. That was my.
I'm Jerome from Flint, Michigan, and I wanted to know a little more about your faith. Like, how did you come to Christ?
Well, my brother played David Trueheart on the show, and he passed away as well. And it was just one of those things where I was just, frustrated and mad at the world and didn't understand why. And everyone kept saying, hey, you need to talk to God. You need to talk to God. And I was like, if there's one more person that says that, I'm going to be very angry. And they did, and they kept saying it, so I just decided to go to the church and talk to God. I realized I'd talk to myself anyway, so now I can say, I'm talking to God, man, leave me alone.
Your name?
I'm Clara from Ringgold, Louisiana. Okay, so we all know that you have gone and done things after you were done with the Power Rangers, but I was curious, are you happy doing the roles that you're doing now, or if you had the option, would you go back and film the Power Rangers all over again?
I wouldn't, because it's too hard. I never lived by the what-if principle. My teacher used to teach me in class, I know speed round, but I would have said, sir, what if, and my big guy, he's like, what if what, son? I said, what if? He goes, what if your aunt was your uncle? And I'm like, I never understood what he meant. But the point was, don't say what if, so I never said what if. If I changed it, I would not be here right now.
Right on.
You know what I mean? He's all trying to speed round me.
Your name?
Dylan, I'm from Shreveport. And my question is to solve a debate with my friends, Kim or Cat?
Neither. Girls are a headache. And she took half of my stuff. That's the reason why I lost the Dragon Sword. She owns half of it. So I just left it in the ocean so she wouldn't get it.
He didn't have the shirt on, by the way.
And then she was like, oh, you got it, yeah. You see, the trick is not to let Kimberly know I had a 24 karat gold warfer, 24 karat gold dragon dagger. She ain't nothing but a gold digger. I'm kidding. I'll speed round, I promise. We got someone else coming in or something?
We have the costume contest. We're good. We're good.
Chris. I'm from Greenville, Texas. Texas. Anyway, my question is, when you were in that movie, the first one, I believe, you jumped out of the plane and you were skydiving. You're on that board, man. Did you actually do that, or was that something?
I wish I could, but I like the way you explain it. I'm skydiving. You're on that board. Was that you? No. Oh. No, it's just, honestly, we had a price tag on our head. We couldn't do anything bad because if we died or something happened to us, the movie would be shut down. So I got involved in skydiving afterwards. I've never skyboarded. That's a very dangerous sport now. A lot of the guys that used to sky surf are no longer with us because the parachute would be tangled and stuff. But I'd like to do it one day. Or I could just be like, yeah, that was me. Star Striker. Why don't you tell people who you are, man? Star Striker. Don't try to lie. Tell them who you are. Tell them.
Star Striker.
See, told you. It's a secret identity.
Okay.
Only I know, but it's on your shirt. Anyway, go ahead.
My question is, after Zeo, when you guys defeated Mondo and everything, and then the Turbo movie, what exactly happened
to the Zeo conversation, it seemed like it was explained why y'all had to switch from Zeo to Turbo.
Well, we were. Did you hear that? The mic turned off. That was good. That was super good. Star Trek's like, man, you're crazy. God, the history of the Power Rangers will soon be revealed. Oh, God. All you want to know.
Your name?
I was going to ask, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Yes.
Got it. I'm John. My name's Tony. I'm from Monroe, but I'm originally from Michigan. My question was, during your long time of success, when was that one moment, maybe it was signing a contract or just looking out like at or like at everything you've done, that it just kind of popped and you were like, I've done it, I've made it to where you wanted to be?
It's funny because, you know, growing up, you guys were really young, so we didn't have that whole, you know, little kids would recognize me, like, oh, you know, and all this stuff. But as growing up as an actor, you hear all this stuff about actors. You hear about you can't go nowhere, people giving you death threats, how people are getting sued, and none of that was happening to me. So I was like, I haven't made it. And then when you get older and you have stuff like that happen to you, like in Phoenix and all this crazy stuff, you know, lawsuits, people, you start realizing like it's not all cracked up to what it is. But the truth that when I went to New York Comic Con and I took a chance in doing these Comic Cons, I've always paid my own way. I just did my own thing, and they said you'll have no fan base. You're going against Stallone and 100 other actors. I begged, just give me an hour, just 1 hour. I'll pay my own way. And they put Jason David Frank. And at that time, I was like, can you put the Green Ranger? No. Can you do anything? No, we can't do that. You got 1 hour. So I walked to the table and brought my family, and there's a big, you know, long line. At New York Comic Con, you ever been there? They have these huge long lines that take you forever to walk from the back to the front. So when I walked, I saw no one. It was like one of those things where I was like, remember, I'm thinking, I can. I'm thinking, maybe this guy's right. Maybe I don't have a fan base. Maybe I am when he said I was. I walked into the line, and I didn't see anyone. It was okay. I went up there, and then I said something. They said, sir, there's your line. I said, where's my line? Because I don't see no line. And I looked, and it was all these people waiting, all screaming with Power Ranger stuff. It was like a 6-hour-long line. And that was the moment where I was like, man, I don't have any fans. And when they broke it off for 1 hour, they said, no more. It was like, I almost paid everyone that, you know, they paid $5 where they're like, oh, no, JDF, we need you. And I was just like, I'm going to take care of everybody. Thanks, guys, really. But it was one of those things where I was like, wow, that means more to me than hearing the success stories of people growing up with Power Rangers and changing lives, and hearing your story, too, that you shared, right? All the military people, police officers around the world that's influenced. That's when you know you made it, when you're being blessed like that.
Thank you. Very good question. Give it up that.
Kendall, I would like to know, what's the funniest thing that happened on set when you were playing the Green Ranger?
I don't know, I was practicing moves. Wasn't that funny, but I was doing a backflip off a tree. Johnny was speaking the story, but he was supposed to spot me, and he didn't. We're not supposed to practice anything. We're like, on the movie, you're not supposed to do anything. And I did run up the tree. Johnny didn't spot me. Smacked my face on the concrete. I thought I knocked out my teeth, you know, so I was like, do I have teeth, Johnny? He's like, yeah. But my whole side of my face was kind of cut up and scratched up. So I was filming the movie that day. So the next day I had to film, and they're like, what did you do to your face? So we had to put like plastic on it, and then like paint it over or something like that. I know it doesn't sound funny. It was pretty funny at the time.
Finn Balor, you showed up. Thank you, man. Next question.
So now, Colton, I'm from Abilene, Texas. My question is, how do you compare your character, Tommy Oliver, to your Super Sentai counterpart in Karate?
I never met those guys. I think I'm going to meet the White Ranger in Power Morphicon. There's no comparison to the Japanese shows to the American version. I mean, Japanese can get away with a lot more things than we can. It was a little bit more violent. We all wanted at the time, like, let's do that. And they're like, no, this is a kid show. I was like, darn, they don't show us the Japanese footage. You know what I mean? And you know, we used a lot of their footage. It's a total different storyline, but it's cool to go back and watch. I didn't understand what this stuff was. It was like, remember when Starbucks first got introduced? It's so confusing. It's so annoying to go there. Like, I'll take a small, tall. Like, what are you guys talking about? Like, I'll just take a vente. You know, you got to say all this coffee talk. We weren't familiar with that. And Power Rangers is like that Starbucks coffee talk. If you say something like Zordon, Goldar, or talk about a morphing grid, people that don't get it don't understand. I didn't understand what Zordon was, and I didn't understand what I was reading for. I understood I was reading for the Green Ranger. We think of Rangers, Smokey the Bear, because that's what I think about. I'm a Ranger, I'm a Ranger, I'm a park ranger. And then when I got to know, I was like, that looks nothing like a park ranger. But it was cool, you know, so I don't know. It's both of them are different, and I like both. You know, if it wasn't for the Japanese show, we wouldn't be here. You know what I mean?
Good question. Thank you, Fidel. Good. That was a good one. You ready?
One, give it up.
I know.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Your name?
Steven. My question is, if you never went good with the Green Ranger and never became Lord Ranks, how long do you think it would take to defeat all 5 original Rangers?
Oh, for the Green Ranger? He was powerful, man. I thought he was pretty powerful. Remember, he beat them all out of the Zord and was like, yeah. I don't know. I think more the timeline. You know the timeline with Draken, right? When he decided to be good, he went and became Tommy. But that was the same timeline, backing up to that timeline where he said, "I'm not going to be good. I'm going to go to the bad." So he became Draken. And then he worked for Rita and Zed, and then he ended up defeating them and eliminating them because there's kids in the room. And then he got the title Lord. That's how he became Lord Draken. You know what I mean?
Good question. Are you the final? All right, no pressure.
Okay, in MCU, you think that the Power Rangers, would they get a chance to defeat Thanos?
Yes.
Pretty deep.
Yes. Yes.
Think Power Rangers take on Thanos?
Actually, he said yes. He said yes, confirm with speed round. I answered yes.
That's good.
Would you like to answer that? My bastard. Go ahead and stand up and answer that question. No, I'm looking at it. No. What's that? I'm behind you. Behind you. We're behind you. Where? Right there. He's going to answer that question. Go ahead, yeah, you.
Who's the question?
He's going to add to his question.
You gonna add to it? Him?
Yeah, come on. Tell me what you think about Power Rangers.
Let's do it.
I love Mobile the movie. I love the movie. I love it. So,
How would you rate Power Rangers from 1 to 10?
1 to 10 Power Rangers. What is it on a scale of 1 to 10?
10.
30? 30? If I ask you who your favorite Ranger is, you better say
Green Ranger?
Yeah!
Get it up, get it up, get it up.
So the city we're in is
Shreveport, Bossier City.
Bossier City. Shreveport's on the other side. So it's kind of like Shreveport, though. I can say Shreveport, right?
Yeah, go for
it.
You're good.
Make sure. No. SBC. What's that say? Bossier. All right, we're here at Bossier. Just got done with Q&A. Louisiana, what's going on?
Y'all give it up. Just give it a break.
Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. I'm happy to be here.
We're doing last man standing? What are we doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna be I got a quick interview real quick that I gotta go to. But after that, I'll be at the table, guys. I know some of you guys already saw me, but you can come on over, say goodbye. Here tomorrow, too. I'll be here tomorrow. So if you guys want to stop by tomorrow, I got another Q&A tomorrow. So if you're here, we're trying to mix it up a little bit. Talk about a little bit more Zio. You guys can educate me on that. I'll see you guys soon, okay? Thanks so much.